Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. I am Professor Hassan and you are watching my channel Professor Hassan Hamayo. Today we will discuss very important and expected common questions for all the papers of statistics. Before starting today's vital lecture, I request everyone subscribe to my channel, like and share my channel, and click the bell icon for the notifications of the next important videos. Let's start. Question number 1 is, which is the unstable measure of dispersion? Range is called unstable measure of dispersion. Next is stable measure of dispersion, and that is standard deviation. Question number 3, stable central tendency is arithmetic mean. Next, unstable central tendency is mode. Next question is very important. If geometric mean of 5 numbers is 13, let's suppose we have 5 numbers A, B, C, D and E, and the geometric mean of these 5 numbers is 13. And if I take the reciprocal of each value of the data set, for example 1 over A, 1 over B, 1 over C, 1 over D, 1 over E, then the geometric mean of the new data set will be reciprocal of the previous geometric mean, that will be 1 over 13. A very important concept. The value of the geometric mean of some numbers can be 15, 17, 19. If it is 21, then the geometric mean of the reciprocal of all the values will be 1 over 21. Next question is, harmonic mean gives less weightage to the larger values and more weight to the small values. Next question is, percentile coefficient of kurtosis is a very important one. It is K is equal to quartile deviation over P90 minus P10, and its range is from 0 to 0.5. If K is equal to 0.263, we have mesokurtic. If K is greater than 0.263, we have lepto, and if K is less than 0.263, we have platy. Next one is a very important question for all the papers of statistics. These are the expected common important questions which are essential if we have the binary data. Whenever we have the binary data, the values are 0 and 1, we know in the binary data, then which is the most suitable average? That is mode. Mode will be the most suitable average in the binary data. Then a very important question, whenever we talk about the human needs, all the people have some needs. They need shirts, pants, they need shoes, all household items. Whenever you want to discuss human needs, then which is the most suitable average? Then mode is the most suitable average. If we talk about the size of the shoe, mode will be applied. Number of shirts, mode will be applied. Cars, mode will be applied. In all these things, mode is the suitable one. Then what is the range of the Bouwley's coefficient of skewness? For Bouwley's we have -1 to +1, and for Cole-Pearson we have -3 to +3. And dear students, that in the exam that can be written as skewness modulus less than equal to 1. That option is correct one. It can also be written as -1 to +1, and for this much that can be this much equal to +3, and it is like -3 less than equal to skewness less than equal to +3. Both are correct. CPI is used for inflation for what? For 1%, 2%, many people, all people. CPI is also called cost of living index, and it is used for inflation, and it is used for all the people. All the people will be the correct option in the exam. A very important question. We are familiar with the 5 number summary, the box plot. It is Q2, it is Q1, it is Q3, and we have the minimum value and we have the maximum value. if you want to detect the outlier, which value is the outlier, which value is the extreme value, what is the method? Q1 minus 1.5 times interquartile range, which is Q3 minus Q1, and Q3 plus 1.5 interquartile range. All the values which will lie in that interval, these will be the values in the pattern, and otherwise if the value is less than this much and more than this much, that will be detected as the outlier, as the extreme value. Very important. Q1 minus 1.5 into interquartile range and Q3 plus 1.5 into interquartile range, all the values which will go beyond this limit, these will be called the outliers. Next is very important, and that is the interpretation for written test as well as interview. For example, Q1 is 67 marks. You have calculated 60 Q1, which is 67, by applying any formula like L plus H over F N over 4 minus CF. Now what will be the interpretation this much? It means that 25% people have got marks 67 or less than this much. If Q3 is 95, for example, 95 marks, interpretation is that 75% people of the class, students of the class, have got 95 and less marks. A very important one. Then the next one is in symmetric distribution. We have discussed many times Q3 minus Q2 is equal to Q2 minus Q1, and Q3 plus Q1 over 2 is equal to Q2, and Q2 is the average of Q1 and Q3. And if I talk about Q2 is greater than, if I say Q1 Q3 plus Q1 is equal to Q2, that can also be written as a very important one. Next is when binary data is given, what is Q1? Q1 will be 0 and Q3 will be equal to 1. You can calculate by taking the values of binary data. Then the next question is, if you have P node n multiplied by volume index number and equal to value index number, that will be satisfied by factor reversal test. Dear students, volume is also called quantity index number, and it is also called quantum. And we have discussed, don't be confused in the exam. We know P naught n multiplied by Q naught n is equal to summation Pn Qn over summation P naught Q naught. It is also called V node n value index number. This is satisfied by factor reversal test. The last question of today's lecture is informal measure of dispersion is range, because it depends upon only two values, two extreme values, maximum minus minimum. I will wait for your comment on today's lecture, and you can join the online spoken English session and the statistical assistant session. Assalamu alaikum.